Hello and welcome to the topic of hardware testing with Python and FLooPy. FLooPy is a test sequencer written in Python that makes it possible to reduce the testing costs in hardware development. My name is Friedrich and we are going to take a look at how this works. Let's go! We start at the point where the customer requirements are available for any technical product. Testing these product features is a very crucial part of hardware development. One particular circumstance that makes hardware testing quite complex is that at each individual test station, a different test setup is usually needed, where also different software solutions are often used. And exactly at this point, I would like to suggest a simplification. Instead of committing to a very specific test environment when writing the test functions, you can abstract the measurement setup in the software and only select them shortly before executing the tests. Abstracting the test environment has two main advantages. Firstly, it makes the test code more readable and therefore it's easier to write and maintain. And secondly, the test cases can be reused at different stations here in the circle. This has the advantage that most test cases can actually be prepared and pre-tested quite early in the development cycle. And this will shortening the later development phases, which can save costs. Now I will show you in 3 steps how you can achieve a uniform test standard for the entire product development. In the first step, you create a library with all the test cases you will need for your specific product. Each test case can have both input and output parameters. A very important input parameter is the device under test input, which summarizes the behavior of the entire test environment in one object. This device under test object describes either your simulation model, your laboratory setup, or your installed product as the customer site that you want to test. In hardware testing, the entire test process can usually be divided into 5 sections, with one function for each section, which are linked to each other via variables. And then FLooPy takes care of the correct data flow during the measurement. For this purpose, all variables are saved as time signals. During such a test measurement, parameter variations often have to be performed. The necessary and sometimes very complex loop arrangements can be easily configured with FLooPy. The actual specifics of the test measurement are then written inside the individual functions and can look completely different depending on the context. It is now very important that you will find a suitable verbal description for all interactions with the device under test. And in this way, you have created an interface that describes the input-output behavior of the device under test. In the second step, you simply have to implement this interface for all required test environments. This can be, for example, a complete simulation model, a guided manual measurement, or a fully automated measurement setup. In all 3 cases, you use exactly the same test instructions to check whether your product behaves the same in the different development phases. And in the last step, you create the test plan. For this, you select the test cases from the library and simply configure the open input parameters either as a loop or a constant number. If needed, a PDF test report can also be generated here. And only at the very end you select the desired test environment in order to execute the test plan. With these steps, you can achieve a uniform test standard for the entire product development so that you can increase the test coverage and possibly also save costs. To ensure your success in these steps, I'm providing you with 2 things. On the one hand, there's FLooPy, a test sequencer that you can use and extend as open source software. And secondly, I offer my service to you. This means that we first evaluate how the test case could look like for your product, and then I would support you with the implementation. If you are curious now, then take a look at the next demo video. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye bye.